How do you starve out a zombie? Well, the answer is a no-brainer. What's going on, YouTube? So with Halloween right around the corner, that means that we have our ESO Witches Festival to talk about, and we did a little bit of a preemptive, here's what the event looks like, but now we're going to talk about the best ways to farm the event, because if you see here, you can see that arenas, invasions, delves, dungeons, public dungeons, trial final bosses, world bosses are all going to give you rewards, including those plunder skulls. Now, I will note that you can see here that they're talking about the Jamora motive chapter. Those aren't worth a whole lot, so this is really going to be focused on how are you going to get those Jamora plunder skulls. So each of these activities will give you a plunder skull, and they'll give you the Jamora motives, but don't worry about the Jamora motives. They're worth like 5 gold. So what's the best thing to farm? You got all these different options, and there's a whole lot of things to kind of look at in this event, things to get excited for. I love the Halloween event, and it's always a fun time. So what's going to be in these plunder skulls? You have the ability to get those beautiful provisioning recipes. You're definitely going to want ones. Look out for Bewitched Sugar Skulls, as well as the Bloody Maras. Furnishing recipes, always good. Everyone loves furnishing recipes. The stuff to make pets, those are okay. But crafting materials, creepy crawlies, generally things like fishing bait. And then special festive crafting writs, which are actually pretty decent and are usually a pretty good return on the writs that you're going to be getting for doing so. So with all that and more and all this generic information, what are the best things to farm? And there's a couple other things we have to take into consideration, because not only are you going to get rewards boxes for doing arenas, invasions, delves, dungeons, public dungeons, trials, and world bosses, you're also getting double XP. So we have to factor that in also, that you might want to do some activities that are like, oh, well, I can have some double XP, or I can also have some other things too. Like I could just have fast rewards, or I could have good rewards from the zone that I'm in and good XP. So we're going to try to pinball all those different things that you might want to kind of give you the best plan going into this event to make sure you can maximize your time, earnings, and or experience, whatever you want to get from it. So starting us off, my number one suggestion for anyone that's looking to farm this event as a newer player is the Alakir Desert, doing the Dolmens. So the dolmen is very simple. It's just these little symbols. I'm going to go to the other one so you guys can see it a little bit easier. These bad boys, Mulling Ball is like, I'm going to invade your realm, and it's this little get together of all the hooligans in the area to come through, kill it, and then you get a little rewards chest over when you're done. So the reason this is nice is that this is considered one of the best experience methods in the game, and it's the fastest way for you to feasibly farm your actual world boss events. So your actual world events farming is good. This is going to be the fastest way for you to do that. Why is it best in the Alakir Desert? I can hear you wondering. Well, firstly, it is a base game zone, so everyone and their mom has this zone. Secondly, the dolmens are always in the same order, and they're always near a way shrine. So you can see the little sword icons will be over the dolmen when it's ready to be farmed, and it will always be in this little triangular circular motion for you. So we just did this one, so then you would then be going over here, utilizing the way shrine here. Then you would go up here once that one is done and utilize this way shrine here. Easiest way to get here is just pick any of your guilds, and then you can just go sort by location, and during the event you're going to find all sorts of people here. However, you can see that there's a healthy chunk of people that were in the Alakir Desert just to begin with. It's a great zone to go to for those XP needs. And as a little side backup area, a lot of people do suggest the Necropolis because it's also in the Alakir Desert. Don't like it as much. I think there's a little bit too much competition, whereas at least here you can use that competition to, group up with people. If you type LFDG in the Alakir Desert zone, you'll be invited to a group. You go to Necropolis, you're going to be competing against people. You do get a lot of zombie kills, which can be good to get bait. But what I really like about this is by looting the chest that we've just looted, you get jewelry. You can deconstruct that jewelry, get not only some good jewelry XP, but also the ability to get decent amounts of grains, which would be converted into platings in Update 40. This next area is one of my favorites, and this is going to be Bankrai. Bankrai is also a base game zone, but this one's a little bit unique. So generally, you're going to want to definitely make sure you're in the group with this one, because this is going to be what I call the triangle boss farm area. In Bankerai, you can use this way shrine to come in. Bankerai is a very easy zone to get into using the same method we used to get to the Alakir Desert using the Guild Finder. And not only that, there's also a dolmen that you can kind of passively do, but really you just want to continually farm these 3 bosses. However, there's probably going to be other people doing this exact same method. So what you want to make sure that you're doing is you're in the same group with them, because you don't want to be the person that kills this boss and then goes to this one, and then these people over here kill this boss and then try to go over here, but you've already killed that boss and now you're on the way up here. So that's why there's no necessarily perfect rotation for this. That's why you want to make sure that you're just doing it with whatever group of people that are doing Bankerai. Bankerai is also a decent zone for the sets that drop from there. 7th Legion and Spriggan, while they have been farmed to death in the past, are pretty good for you to add to your sticker book. I think they're both pretty good PvP starter sets for people who are interested in getting into that type of content. So overall, Bankerai, base game zone, good rotation if you want to get a lot of boxes, and overall, pretty decent. If your motivation is gold, in my opinion, this is the best suggestion for you. I love me some Southern Elsewhere. Why Southern Elsewhere? It's because instead of Dolmens, Molag Bal has realized that he's lost. Spoilers, that's how the main storyline ends. And instead, in Southern Elsewhere, the dragons are kind of like, we're going to get a piece of the main protagonist here. And dragons are filled with loot. That's all you really need to know. You can see the dragons on the map here. They will spawn in one of 2 quadrants. You can type actually the same thing, LFDG, which is actually looking for dragon group in Southern Elsewhere. The dragons spawn very close to the way shrines. Great way to get gold. You're going to want to be looking out for Dragon Bile, Dragon Blood, and Dragon Realm. Now, if you want Dragon Realm, you have to complete the quest, The Good Bits. So take a look into that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, I believe you have to complete 25 quests inside of Southern Elsewhere to unlock that one. We have a whole video going over that if you're interested in talking about different achievements that are helpful in ESO, but the big focus is the Dragon Blood, the Dragon Bile. You also get treasures that you can sell. The sets from Southern Elsewhere are meh, you just quick sell those too. You also get re-ingredients for other random things. You know, you'll get other pouches of alchemy ingredients and stuff. And overall, it's the best method, in my opinion, when it comes to gold, just based on the demand that Dragon Blood, Dragon Bile, and Dragon Realm are in, and the amount of gold that you're going to get just from quick selling all the little good stuff that you get too. If you're interested in something similar to the Alakir Desert, though, a lot of players will go to Deshaan, because as you can see, Deshaan and the Dolmens are very close to the way shrines. And there's a couple good world boss areas that are also very close too. So a lot of players, if they're consistently, you know, in a very laggy Alakir Desert, will go to Deshaan, because Deshaan, base game zone, decent sets, Plague Doctor, Mother's Sorrow, both great in my opinion for you to collect to your sticker book or try to sell up to you if that's what you want to do. And you're not going to have to face, you know, as much competition in some of the other zones when it comes to world events. I always prefer world events though, for the same reason that as opposed to a world boss or a delve boss, the benefit though is that it's easier to get credit doing a world event versus a world boss. You have to do the damage ticks and contributions that you have to do can be a little bit more tricky. I know there's going to be some people who are like, Jake, come on, it's not that hard to contribute, but there are people who play on original Xboxes, consoles, old hardware. It can be laggy during these events. So you don't want to be in a situation where you're not getting reward boxes because you're not doing enough contribution. So food for thought. And the public dungeon, the Forgotten Crypts, is actually probably one of the better public dungeons if you're looking for box drops based on how close all the mobs spawn together. However, the problem is that if you're farming a public dungeon, I would actually suggest something more along the lines of something like the Forgotten Wastes inside of Vardenfell. I mean, there's an item in there that's worth almost 1 billion gold before it crashed because I made a video on it. And because of that, like, not only are you going to get good sets that probably sell for 10 times more than the ones in Deshaan, you're also in Vardenfell, which is going to be a little less the competition, and the actual XP that you're going to get from the Forgotten Wastes is significantly higher than the one in Deshaan. Also, too, if you're thinking to yourself, man, you know, I really want the sets from Blackwood. You know, I really want to get the Frostbite set, update 40. I want to make a Frost Warden, you know. You just go farm the Zenithzar's Abbey. You know, there's tons of good public dungeons that you can farm during these events, either by yourself, with a companion, with your friends, if you have those like me. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to complete your sticker book and get bonus rewards on top of it. What more could you want? Now, if you're like me and sometimes you're feeling peak lazy, you can just go sit at the final delve boss in any delve, in any zone. Perhaps it's a set that you want to farm. Perhaps it's just one that has no competition in it. And you can just kill the delve boss repeatedly. It'll spawn in relatively fast. You'll get your rewards. You'll get some sets that you can either sell, add to your sticker book that you might need, or so on and so forth. And you can do this the lazy man's way. Nobody says that you have to go out and farm experience. And sometimes, I need an excuse to fill out a collection, from a specific zone. And what better way to do that than just chill in a delve, get some stuff? Or if I'm looking, I'm like, I got 10 listings I need to fill. I'm going to go to Blackwood, get a whole bunch of, whatever set, get a whole bunch of it, and then sell it. Or I'll go to, Galen. I'll get a whole bunch of the Gourmand set, list it up after sitting in a delve for a little bit. You don't have to, it's not rocket science when these events come out. You have to look at it as what type of rewards do you want? And that's where we're going to kind of wrap up in this video, because I think the big key piece of any ESO event is, what do you want to get? Like, what is your main benefit that you want to see when you do an event like this? Because to me, that's the key. Do you want experience? Do you want gold? Do you want the ability to just get a bunch of reward boxes? Do you want a mixture of gold and rewards boxes? Do you just want XP? In fact, if you want XP and without any reward boxes, the best thing you can actually do is just farm the second round of Black Rose Prison. The reason I didn't mention that, though, is that's not really at all related to the rewards boxes. That's just more of an XP event. But if you guys would be interested in an updated XP farming video, I'm certainly willing to, make a 2023 XP farming guide. I just like to keep a little bit more in tune with what the events have. And obviously, you guys can always watch, previous event XP videos if you're interested, or just XP videos in general. But when it comes to the plunder skulls, I think it's really something that's worth farming, because the actual loot that you can get from them is relatively good. Those recipes, the Bewitched Sugar Skulls one especially, is good all year round. People need it. People always need it. You got a bunch of new players who want that recipe, and they'll come in, 6 months after Halloween's already ended, and they're going to pay a lot of money for it. It's one that you definitely want to make sure that at least one of your characters has it. So that's why I think it's imperative that you guys farm it. The other resources and things that you're going to get from the event is also just helpful, and then you slap on double XP, on top of that, and it's really good. And you'll be able to spend your tickets on things. And there's a whole lot of good things that come out when ESO does their little Halloween event. But I hope this video was helpful. Got your brain juices a-flowing. The TLDR is, do what you want. What type of rewards do you want? I always think that you should maximize what rewards you wanted to get already, and then just get the plunder skulls on top of it. For example, if I was like, man, I really need to stock up on, Dragon's Blood. Well, now I have an excuse to farm dragons. If I needed to get a character to level 50, well, now I have an excuse to get a character to level 50, I could just go farm Alakir Dolmens, and then I'll get a bunch of experience, get a bunch of jewelry I can deconstruct or sell or whatever, and I'll get, decent chunk of those plunder skulls. Maybe I'll get myself a good recipe. But dear friends, that's going to wrap up the video. What did you guys think in the comments below? What is your plan this Halloween? Let me know. We're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to be entered is be subscribed. 40% of you lovely jubblies are subscribed. I want to thank you guys. I think it's like double YouTube's average. All you have to do is leave a like on the video, and then a random word be flashed upon the screen throughout the month. Last month, it was Worcestershire sauce. I will also make it plainly obvious as a little reward to those of you guys who turn on the notification bell, which I think YouTube said was like 28% of you that are subscribed have the notification bell on, which, I mean, that's a good number too. I mean, realistically, we make Elder Scrolls videos here, not putting out, top tier, prank content, not, any of those. I don't even know an example of any of those YouTubers that do that. That's not really the type of content that I watch on YouTube, but thank you those who do have your notifications on. I always appreciate seeing you guys, seeing those returning faces. So thank you guys so much again, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
So I have a couple video ideas that I want to throw by you guys. You can let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. So I want to do a best fishing location guide. I think that would be kind of cool. These are the best areas for you to fish based on what you want to get, you know, what you want. And I have one where I want to talk about something that's worth even more than that item that we talked about in Vardenfell. So that one was worth like 990 million. I want to talk about something that's worth even more than that item. So that'd be pretty spicy. And then just some more stuff about, you know, things like event tickets, upcoming things for Elder Scrolls, how, you know, Endless Archive, how's that going to look, and kind of all the little odds and ends about that. So what do you guys think would be the most interesting stuff? And obviously, feel free to suggest video ideas below. Let me know, and I'll catch you guys later. If you're interested, check out yesterday's video where we ranked the Elder Scrolls content on a tier list from everything from different types of PvE content to crafting to housing to PvP. It was pretty interesting. Let me know if you think I was right, where I was wrong, and what you would put it on. So let me know, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.